Okay, I'm out here today. I'm going to work on my Kuhn GMD 500 disc mower. I've already got the canopy took off, and what I got to do is I got to replace these bushings around this gearbox here. There's one there, and there's one up in there. This one is by far the worst, but I decided I'd go ahead and take off and go ahead and do both of them, because I don't want to have to do one then turn around and have to do the other one later. And so I've got the cover off, and I'm ready to take the belts off. And when I get the belts off, I'm thinking I'm going to have to take these pulleys off and this side cover off. And I was looking at this bar here that holds the canopy on, and it's gotten bent over the years. Remember, about 10, this is a 19-year-old mower, and probably about 10 years ago, the guy borrowed it from us, and he run into a damn power pole with it, and it ended up bending the front of this top cover frame, all the pieces, and apparently it bent this pole off pretty good. I'm gonna say it's supposed to be center of this disc here, so it's probably 6 inches off. So I'm gonna I may try to heat on that, try to bend it back a little bit, but I'm also going to go ahead and swap these plates around where they get more. You can tell right here they wear, the rust is where the grass has rubbed the paint off, but they're wearing pretty bad here, so I'm going to flip them around where they'll be wearing on against this other side. Flip the two end ones, and then I'm going to flip these two, and then I've got to replace one because I don't have one to flip with it. So got a brand new in here, and that thing right there is $102. That's the reason I'm not replacing them. I'm just, like I said, this thing's been used 19 years. If I can get probably another 10 years out of them, maybe by then, well, probably within five years, I'll probably go ahead and buy a new one, or a better used one. This thing's had a rough life, but it's still a pretty good mower. Just ain't quite long enough. I want one. I'd like to have one more disc, have a 6 disc. And anyway, I'm gonna go over here and get these belts off, and I'll show you what it looks like. I've already loosened this up. There's 2 bolts right here. That sun's pretty bright. There's 1 bolt here and 1 bolt here. My finger in the shot right there, and then the adjustment here. I've backed this nut off and pushed this wheel forward, or that away, and hopefully got it loose enough now where I can just pull these belts off. There's 4 belts, and these are fairly new, so I'm not going to replace them this year. I've got a new set, but anyway, I don't have my tripod with me, so I'm going to go ahead and get these belts off, take these pulleys off, and get this side cover shield out, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I went ahead, I took my belts off, and I pulled the bolts out of the wheels, out of the pulleys there, but I never could get my pulleys off, so I don't have a big enough gear puller to actually work on them, so I went ahead and put them back on. I'm not going to fool with this side, and it took me, I guess, 30 minutes to get this damn thing here off. I ended up having to heat those bolts. I got one out with the cheater bar, but the other one ended up heating it. It's got so much Loctite on it, and then I never got that damn plate off. I ended up taking that pipe and that hammer and going around and hitting it from the back side. The center one, this one come off pretty easy. This is the one I heated up. This one, I tried heating it, but it was just rusted on there. So anyway, once I got it off, that thing there fell out. So it shouldn't be no problem to get a new one back on here, hopefully. This is the new ones in my bag here. And as you see, maybe as you can see, they got a little lip on them. And that lip, and they're hard plastic and fairly thick, but that lip, I'm thinking will go on the inside here, like that. Lip to the inside, and then that piece there just slide right over that. Bolts back on, 15/16 bolts, and hopefully no problems. And then after I get that done, I'm gonna go ahead and put the belts back on, get everything tight, put the cover on, and then I'm gonna work on these hats up here. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, got all these swapped around, changed out. I'm still missing a bolt. I've been missing a bolt. And new blades. Got that back on. It looks pretty good. I'm looking, I can see the other one and it don't look in bad shape, so right now we're gonna run with it. Now, I would like to try to bend this hickey back a little bit. That's one reason I've been having trouble getting this back plate off. That thing's hitting on it because this thing's pushed the whole top canvas back and sideways. So what I think I'll do is I'll heat up this area right in here, take this off of course, heat it up good, and try to bend it around a little bit on this end, see if I can get it a little bit straighter. And I've already had my torches out here, so won't be no problem. And once we get that straightened up, if we can, I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll put the canvas on. Alright, well I put a bunch of heat on this thing and was able to bend it a little bit. I didn't want to put so much on it that I cracked it, but you know, it was 6 inches. Now it's probably 2 inches, so I probably moved it towards center at least 3 inches, if not 4. Maybe 3 inches. I probably moved it at least halfway. So now I gotta let this cool off, and 4 bolts puts this canopy back on, and 2 bolts puts that back on. So we'll let this cool off a little bit and get it back together. Then we'll go cut some hay. And here she is, all back together. I'm gonna have to get a top for this thing, but I'm probably going to have to end up replacing this whole upper piece here because it's bent up pretty bad, but it definitely looks a little better since I've got that bent back some. But hopefully we get through this year with this old canvas top. If not, we'll have to stop and order one. And let's go down to the barn, and then I'm going to go over here and cut this hay field right behind my house here, over here in the barn. And I appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned for more.